Constitutional Conversations is a series of discussions by America's leading scholars about the principles, framing, ratification, and implementation of constitutional government in the United States. This series is hosted by the James Madison Memorial Fellowship Foundation of Alexandria, Virginia.
Dolley was at a very interesting place in her life, very dramatic place, when she met James Madison. She was born in the Virginia gentry in 1768, but her parents were Quakers. Her mother was a Quaker and her father was a convert. And they lived a rather quiet country life until when Dolley was about 15, her father decided, out of Quaker conscience, to free his slaves. So with freed slaves, they couldn't be agricultural laborers. So they left Virginia and moved to Philadelphia, which was the seat of American Quakerism. And in that 10 years, between age 15 and when she was about 26, all kinds of bad things happened to Dolley Madison. So all of her brothers died one by one. She lost a sister, a little baby sister. Her father was disowned by the Quakers. He went bankrupt. Her mother had to open a boarding house. She married a man that she probably did on some level love, but it was definitely at her father's insistence. She had 2 children, but in the Great Yellow Fever epidemic of 1793, she lost her husband and she lost her newborn baby. So when she meets James Madison, she's back in Philadelphia, that's the capital at that point, and she meets this congressman from Virginia. She's 25, 26 years old, a widow with a young son, very beautiful, as everybody seems to say. And, well, it wasn't love at first sight for her, but it was for him. James Madison, as hard as it is to imagine, was smitten with her and waxed lyrical about his beloved. But for her, I think it was a marriage that was more practical. She wanted, of course, to remarry. She wanted a father for her son. But the question is really, why James Madison? For all that he is a sterling intellect, I don't think anybody would ever consider him sexually attractive. And she was, as I said, quite lovely. But I think that really the attraction that James held for Dolley was that by marrying him, she would return to that first world, that world of childhood. She would return to the Virginia gentry. So I think the fact that he was a Southerner was what was compelling to her.
Constitutional Conversations is made possible by a generous grant from the Fairleigh S. Dickinson Jr. Foundation. Constitutional Conversations is made possible by the James Madison Education Fund.